talk about those of us who rely on natural alternatives and microdosing shrooms specifically in this video. I am a college graduate, successful businesswoman making six figures, working for one of the biggest companies in the world. I travel frequently internationally to very exotic, amazing places like New Zealand, Australia, and Europe. I'm the shit, and I can happily say that because I used to be nothing. I used to be a homeless single mom with a 2-year-old girl trying to survive and get myself situated in life after family betrayal and no one being there for me, no mommy daddy handouts at all. So I have earned the right to say what I say. I've empowered my said daughter and now my 2 younger sons, and I'm thriving in an amazing marriage. Now going on, 12 years of marriage. I can safely say a lot of shit because I've done a lot of stupid shit, but I've never done drugs. If you want to take into account leaf natural alternatives, I can say if that's the case. If that's how you define drugs, then sign me up. But I don't consider marijuana or kratom or shrooms or a lot of these things to be drugs. I think the divine created them to do a purpose, and weak people abuse it. And then what? We define that said thing to be the problem instead of the weak person with the addictive personality? That's not the way I see things. I have 2 diseases that came from birth. My cartilage dissolve at a very fast pace instead of a natural pace where eventually you're 80 with bone on bone and needing some spacers throughout your body. I'm 30 needing my first neck fusion, now 2 and more in my future, and now I'm 40 with so much pain. 2 diseases, fibromyalgia, neuropathy, degenerative disc disease. I don't even count, but there's more than 2, I'm sure. Fact is, I could be given any prescription thrown my way, but I refuse them all. I have bad flare-ups just by turning my head too fast. I could barely do some of the workouts that I would love to do, but I can't because of my mobility issues. I take every supplement you can imagine, vitamins, things that have been known to help these diseases. So instead of popping SSRIs during those days where I feel defeated and I'm exhausted and I'm depressed, I'm a working mom trying to support a family alongside an amazing husband, also trying to support a family in this horrible economy, I do not turn to SSRIs that have horrible side effects and horrible trials. I turn to natural alternatives with stealth control to resist any kind of urge to want to take more than what is already recommended. I microdose on a lot of natural alternatives because I don't want to take an SSRI that will cause me to maybe be suicidal. Instead, you microdose on shrooms where it's a mild thing that helps your mood so I can get through yet another day of busting my ass for my family and loved ones, while living in actual physical pain that never stops. I don't think people realize what it does to somebody when there is never a moment where I am not in pain, but yet still doing everything I'm doing. I'm a fucking superwoman, and more of us need to say it without shame, because it is very hard and the majority of people don't have the willpower to do what we do. So shout out to my other badass mamas. I'm sure there's amazing men out there, but right now I'm talking to the mamas who need that love and support more than the men right now. I'm not saying men don't need it. They just don't need it from me. Call my husband up. He's amazing. He's an alpha, badass, high lord. If you know that, you know it. If you don't, I suggest you read some Sarah Moss. I am also a realistic spiritualist, living with a skeptic husband who entertains me quite beautifully, though, while I learn about life. I was brought up in the church. My mother made us do Bible study every day. I could quote scripture left and right. I could out-preach a preacher. and enjoy those moments when I do. But then I realized in my 20s when the church and my parents and everyone turned against me because of scripture, because I divorced, because I was doing things that other Christians hid really well, I discovered the hypocrisy and the damage that the church actually does to people. And no, not that stupid, pathetic deconstructing. I'm not a part of those losers. I'm a part of facts and reality, and that I know that there's a lot of good that is in those scriptures, that are in those teachings. So I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I actually do my homework and due diligence and actually know what I'm talking about. And then I realized that the church is really corrupt, and it goes deep. And so here created the realistic spiritualist, discovering the actual facts, historical evidence through the codex, and doing my due diligence to know what the fuck I'm talking about. Stick around.